Welcome back to Miss Janice Tells History. This is season 2, episode 5, about the beginning of the Second World War. So, after World War One, Germany was not supposed to rebuild its army. It was forbidden. The Treaty of Versailles had placed strict limits: no large army, no advanced weapons, no military expansion. But by 1936, Hitler ignored these rules and he introduced compulsory military service. Germany began to rearm, stronger, bigger, better trained. And not only that, they began developing modern weapons, new military strategies, and faster, more coordinated attacks. This would be later called Blitzkrieg. Hitler began expanding Germany, first Austria, then Czechoslovakia. Britain and France were worried they didn't want another war, so the British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain tried to negotiate. He believed that if they gave Hitler some of what he wanted, they could avoid bigger conflict. So he signed an agreement with Hitler through which Hitler promised not to take more land. Chamberlain returned to Britain saying, "This is peace for our time." But Hitler, of course, broke that promise. And soon after that, he took the rest of Czechoslovakia. Hitler was preparing for a bigger war, but now Germany could be attacked from the west by Britain and France and from the east by the Soviet Union. So he decided to sign a pact with Joseph Stalin, the Nazi-Soviet Pact, through which they agreed not to attack each other. Now, this was public. But secretly, what they really did was they planned to divide Poland. So on September the 1st, 1939, Germany invaded Poland. And just a few weeks later, the Soviet Union invaded Poland as well from the east. Well, Poland collapsed quickly, and Britain and France finally reacted, declaring war on Germany. This is the beginning of the Second World War. Now, something strange happened. After declaring war, nothing major happened immediately. For months, there was very little fighting. This period was known as the phony war, like the fake war, but it did not last. In April 1940, Germany invaded Denmark and Norway. They wanted to control routes and secure resources. And once again, nobody stopped them in time. This failure created a crisis in Britain. Neville Chamberlain resigned as Prime Minister and he was replaced by Winston Churchill. Churchill was different. He was ready to fight. On May the 10th, 1940, Germany attacked, not directly into France, but through Belgium and the Netherlands. The Allies reacted and they sent their best troops north because they believed this was the main attack, but it really wasn't. While the Allies focused their attention on Belgium, Germany launched the most unexpected part of its plan. They moved through the Ardennes. The Ardennes was a dense forest with difficult terrain, the kind of place the Allies believed an army could not cross quickly and certainly not with tanks. But they were wrong. German forces pushed through the Ardennes faster than anyone had expected. So many vehicles moved forward that they even created traffic jams stretching back into Germany. At first, the reports that reached the Allied commanders were confusing. There were planes that detected movement from the south, but it didn't seem clear and it didn't seem possible. And that was exactly the problem. By the time they began to understand what was really happening, the German army was already advancing. After pushing through the Ardennes, the German army reached a crucial point: Sedan. This was not just another town. Sedan was a key defensive position on the French border. If the Germans broke through here, they could enter France much more easily. And that was what happened. Before the French army had time to react properly, German forces launched a rapid and coordinated attack using speed, surprise, and air support. They overwhelmed the defenses, and then they broke through. This was the decisive moment because once Sedan fell, the road into France was open. The Allies suddenly found themselves in a very dangerous position. They were no longer advancing, they were encircled. This was Blitzkrieg at its most effective. Fast, unexpected, impossible to stop in time. And by the time the Allies understood what had really happened, it was already too late. France was now in serious danger, and the war in the West had truly begun. This was Miss Janice Tells History. See you next time.